What's going on, guys? This is Chakits with Simply Vegas, Realtor out here in Las Vegas and Henderson, bringing you another market snapshot for the month of April of 2018. So let's just get right into it. So for single family residents, as of today, we have a total of 3,902 properties currently available for sale. 98% of those homes are actually private sales. This is where people actually have equity in their home. And a lot of people that are actually selling their home in today's market, they're taking the proceeds, putting that money down on a bigger, better home, and also keeping the same monthly payment. 2% are actually short sales, and 1% are actually bank-owned properties at this time. Townhomes. Townhomes, we have a total of 288 homes currently available for sale. 97% of those homes are private sales, 1% are short sales, and 2% are bank-owned properties. Condos. Condos right now, we have a total of 554 properties that are currently available. 97% are traditional sales, and 2% are short sales, and 1% are actually short sales. Manufactured homes, we have a total of 40 homes currently available. 38 homes, which is 95%, is actually private sales, and we have 3% short sales and another 2% for bank-owned properties. Let's move on to the duplex. The duplex right now, there's only currently 17 properties that are currently available, and it is 100% all private sales. Same thing with the triplexes, 3 units. There's a total of 5, and they're all private sales. Fourplex. Fourplex, we have a total of 41 units currently available at this time, and 93% of those fourplexes that are for sale are private sales, 5% are short sales, and 2% are bank-owned properties. Let's get into the high-rise. The high-rise right now, we have a total of 350 high-rises for sale. 98% of those are private sales, 1% are short sales, and also another 1% for bank-owned properties. Let's talk about some land. Land right now, 99% of them are actually private sales, and 1% are actually bank-owned. And we have a total of 734 properties that are currently available. So I want to get into the single-family residence. Right now, for the single-family residence, the median price is actually $287,000, and from the last video I shot from the beginning of the year, home prices actually have increased as of today. Believe this or not, 6.2%. That's about $17,000 or $16,000 that you could have saved if you bought about 4 months ago, believe it or not. It's just crazy how the home pricing out here is just skyrocketing, believe it or not. I mean, if you're not even an investor and you're just speculating, and you can see what's going to happen in the next, 6 to 12 months, we're seeing anywhere from 20 to 25% of an increase. And I talked about this in my last video, where this is where I'm speculating, where I'm seeing where the trend is going, just based upon, how many people are moving to Las Vegas, the average tourism, how much they spend, how many people are actually visiting Las Vegas each year. So all this is a compensating factor, and that's where your leading indicators are, and that's where you need to take a look. But the amazing thing is that we are actually an average 11 days on the market for a single family residence. So here's the thing. If you are a buyer in today's market and you're buying a home that's actually under a 287, that's a very aggressive market. And the reason why that's an aggressive market, here's a couple compensating factors. Number one, the average household income here in this state is only $51,000. That's almost 6 times the income for a house, believe it or not. It's getting more and more expensive. So what's happening is that with all the news, all the media that's all out there about, home pricing has increased, what's happening is a lot of buyers are getting afraid because of scarcity. When you have scarcity, what happens is more people want to get into the market. And what's happening right now is that we have too many buyers, less supply. Also, what I'm seeing now is that the sellers that list their property, they're listing their property over the appraised value, and believe it or not, they're getting the buyer to pay for the closing costs, And also some of these properties are even appraising at what the sellers are actually asking for the property. It's just a very crazy market right now. So if you're thinking about buying a resale property, you really need to find an agent that understands the market, that can educate you and communicate with you on how things work. And you need, and this is the most important, you need a very aggressive realtor that can actually go out there and put the deal together, because this industry, believe it or not, is very small, and the listing agents want to work with a buyer's agent that knows how to educate their clients, procure a deal, and actually get the deal closed. The average price per square foot for a single family residence right now is $157 a square foot, and the medium square footage that you can get at this price is 1,858 square feet, with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage at this time. If we take a look as far as year to date, how many single family residences we sold about 8,996 homes, okay? Townhomes. The average list for a townhome right now, the average sold for a townhome right now is $199,990. So let's just say flat even $200,000. The average price per square foot is $149 a square foot. I mean, at $149 a square foot versus a single family residence at $157, at this time you're probably better off just moving on to a single family residence, but you're going to be paying about $87,000 more. Excuse me. Now, for a townhome that's at $200,000, what can you actually get? The average square footage that you can get is about 1,320 square feet, minimum of 2 bedrooms, okay? The average days on the market is actually 9 days. The reason why the average days on the market for a townhome is a lot less than a single family residence in today's market is because, remember, the average household income is $51,000. That's 6 times the income for a single family residence. Townhome is only 4 times the income, and a lot of people always want to keep their payments lower. Now, moving on to a condo. Condos right now, the average condos are selling for $130,000 across the board at $131 a square foot, with an average 10 days on the market. Also, condos are moving pretty quickly too as well, because here's the thing: on $130,000 on a condo, your payment's probably like $800, $900, and that's not even including HOAs. So a lot of people always want to keep that cheaper payment, but what can you actually get for a condo at this price? Average around 1,000 square feet and 2 bedrooms. But if you're going to get a condo, at least get a 2-bedroom condo, okay? Because on a resale value, you'll get much more than a single bedroom. Now, condos for year to date, we sold 1,288 condos, and jumping back to townhomes, we sold year to date 933. So if we take all this together right here for a total of 11,217 properties that we actually sold year to date. Now let's talk about financing consideration. What type of buyers are actually out there as far as closing the transactions? I find this very interesting. Cash buyers right now are 23% of the market. Conventional buyers are 53% of the market. FHA is 13.5% of the market, and VA buyers are 10.4% of the market today. Actually, cash buyers actually dropped about 2%. I think the last time we did this video, they were around 25%. And conventional buyer at that time, when I shot the last video at the beginning of the year, was actually at 48%, but now we're at about 52.9%, so 53% at this time. And the reason why we're seeing a high flux of conventional buyers at this time is because if we take a look at VA and FHA combined, that's a total of 23% of the market. What's happening is that conventional buyers, FHA buyers, they go out and get a loan at 3.5%. So let's just keep this simple. If you're purchasing a home for $100,000, right? So to obtain that loan is $3,500, but also then you have closing costs involved, which is another 3%. So let's just say a total of $6,500 $6,500 on a $100,000 home that you have to come up with, okay? The problem that's taking place right now is a lot of sellers don't want to accept FHA buyers because they're afraid of the guidelines as far as the appraisal guidelines. They don't think it's going to appraise. When it comes to a conventional, the guidelines are a little bit more lenient as far as the condition of the home and also the pricing of the home too as well, of what the seller is asking for. So what's happening is there's a new program that's out that you can take a conventional buyer, you can take an FHA buyer with their credit score and obtain a conventional loan. And this conventional program has to be a primary residence and you only put 5% down, right? But you're probably thinking that maybe FHA is better because you're only putting 3.5% down, but this is how it works. So on the conventional loan, you would have to put 5% down. Now, if you qualify for this program and you're a first-time home buyer, I would definitely look into this program. They'll take the first 3%, right? They'll pay for your down payment to obtain the loan. The additional 2% that you have now will be applied towards your closing costs, okay? Now, you have to come up with about 1.5% to 2% for your remaining balance of your closing costs. Now, that's going to be dependent based upon the lender that you actually go with. And that's why you have to take a look at the good faith estimate or the lending estimate or worksheet fee, whatever these lenders want to call it. You want to see exactly what they're going to charge you because that's going to be a compensating factor as far as how much you have to come up with. So let's just say 1.5% additional you have to come up with. So on a $100,000 deal, 1.5%, that's only $1,500. So basically, you can go option A, FHA loan if you're a buyer, right? And have your seller scrutinize your FHA loan, and they're afraid it's not going to go through because they are aware that a conventional is a lot easier to get approved. And you, as a consumer, going conventional because it's going to benefit you. Then from there, what you're going to do is only come up with $1,500 versus $6,500. All the buyers are going to conventional for this reason because it's actually less out of pocket. But remember, if you're obtaining this loan, you have to be a first-time home buyer. And a lot of people are utilizing this loan program. And I think this is something that you guys really need to take a look at. Not only that, the reason why this is also good is because if you cannot afford to purchase a single-family residence because of your debt-to-income ratio, then you're going to be able to purchase a townhome and not have a problem. A condo, condos, they will accept conventional loans. However, keep in mind, if you're a FHA or a VA trying to buy a condo, about 95% of the lenders out there will not finance with these type of condo conversions. And the reason why is because they have to take a look at the condo certs and they want to make sure that their investment is protected. And if there's too many occupants as far as renters in there, about at least 51%, they will not finance you on those deals. But there are some lenders out there that will finance FHA and VA. But VA is a little bit more easy on a condo. But here's the thing. If you're going to buy anything, at least buy a townhome. Okay? Let's see what else we have here. Let's talk about the rentals for single-family residents. Right now, for a single-family residence, if you're going to rent a home, it's going to cost you an average of $1,495 a month. It comes to roughly about 85 cents a square foot, and you're going to get an average of 1,774 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage. And the average days on the market right now is 12 days. So this is where we actually take a look at our pros and cons, because I get this question asked all the time. Should I rent or should I buy? So let's take a look at this. We know that an average rent is at $1,495, and you get about 1,700 square feet, 3 bedrooms. And that goes for the same as a single-family residence. You get a roughly about 1,858 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage. Also, the average days on the market is 11 days versus the 12 days. So if we take a look if you have a excellent credit, and based upon today's interest rate with the par rate, let's just say for all purposes at 4.7% on a 30-year fix for $1,495, let's just make it $1,500. So that means your purchasing power on a 30-year at 4.75% is your purchasing power is $290,000. So we know, as of right now, the median price point for a home is at $287,000. So that means you could actually purchase a home for the same price. And this is how you kind of weigh your pros and cons. So at the end of the day, for the same price of renting a home, I could actually buy a home. Now, the other compensating factor is that you have to take a look is the location. Because now it comes down to the price per square foot. Because the price per square foot that I'm talking about here is the average at $157 a square foot. Now, if you went to Summerlin, right, and let's just say you went to Summerlin, and right now Summerlin is an average about, let's just say about $220 a square foot. So if we did 220 times the average square footage for sale here in the Vegas Valley is 1,858 square feet. That comes out to $408,000. So if that's the case, you're looking to buy in Summerlin, it's going to cost you $408,000 for 1,800 square feet home, or you can actually rent for $1,500 up there. Then it may not be worth it. I would actually probably rent. However, I can tell you right now, the rent up there is not 14. It's probably going to be about 17 something. But if we looked at $400,000 on a $400,000 deal, it's actually cheaper to rent right now up in the Summerlin versus to buy in that area. But it just really comes down to you, the location, how long are you going to stay in the property, and what is your end goal? Because it's going to be case by case basis for every single person. So keep that in mind. Also, renters versus buyers. Right now, 59% of the market right now are actually buyers. 41% are actually renters. This is how it works in the real estate market. What happens is when the rents go up high to the point where it doesn't make sense to rent a home because the cost is too much, then what happens is all the people that are in the rental market floods into the buying market. Then once the buyers go out and buy the home and the home prices increase, and the mortgage is too high, and they realize it's cheaper to rent, next thing you know, investors buy a bunch of homes to rent out, and that forces it up. So it's like a pendulum that goes up and up. And that's how the market goes up between the renting side versus the buying side. So just keep that in mind. At the end of the day, it just really depends on your end goal, how long you're going to be staying here in the Las Vegas Valley. Let's see what else we have for you guys as well. Let's talk about multifamily. I can't believe this. I have a few multifamily myself, and the pricing on some of these units, they almost want $100,000 per unit. Like a duplex that needs to have work, they want $200,000. Almost $400,000 now on a fourplex. I had a buddy of mine that, I got him into the investment game. And I showed him the light as far as, cash flow properties. And this guy's making a killing. And kudos to him, man. Now, he's to the point where he's constantly calling me up. Chuck, I found this deal. I want you to put the deal together. And I always got to tell him, now's not the time to buy it. I understand that you're going to make some cash flow. But the cash flow, what you could have made a couple years ago, that's when you should have bought. But now it just doesn't make any sense where you're only making like 6 to 8% on some of these multifamily and you got to put some money into it. I think it's just a bad investment. I would highly stay away from it. But at the end of the day, if you guys still want to buy it, give me a call. I would be happy to earn your business and walk you through the process. But just remember that we had this conversation, okay? And let's see what else I got. High rises. This is also important. High rises right now. Seems like high rises are not moving as quickly as townhomes, condos, and single family residence. The problem with these high rises is that you gotta pay cash. a lot of lenders are really not financing on the condo high rises, just due to the fact that, you know, there's litigations out there, and it's just too high a risk of for the investor to actually invest in those type of deals. And that's why you'll see majority of them are cash deals. In addition to that, a lot of people ask me, hey, are high rises a good investment property? I'm going to say no, because you don't really make any type of cash flow whatsoever. I mean, a lot of these high rises, they want to charge like $500 on an HOA. So let me give you a prime example. One of the towers, I can't even think of the name right now. I have a brain fart. Oh yeah, the Panamera Towers. So basically, they have a 2-bedroom and it rents out for about $1,800 a month, right? And think about this. If you paid $400,000 for it, and also you're paying like $500 to $600 on an HOA, you're really not making that much money. And from a standpoint of an investor, it just wouldn't make any sense. A true investor will take a look at how much is actually coming out of your pocket and how much is coming back in, the return on your investment. And a lot of investors that I deal with, they want at least a 9% cap rate. Now, I'm not saying that there's not deals out there. They are. But a lot of these deals that you have to find, they're not easy. They're actually off-market properties. The majority of these deals, you actually have to put some work into it. Well, I mean, we literally just did a deal that was at $190,000, but they put about $30,000 into the deal. And at that point, they're flipping it for about $300,000. But these type of deals don't always come across my desk. This luckily came across my desk. I gave it to an investor. We got the deal done, and there it is. But however, if you truly want a deal, you're gonna have to go out and fish for those deals yourself, and it will cost you some time and also money for marketing as well. So guys, that's all I have for today. I'm Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, and have a blessed day.